This beautiful palace stands as a testament to Scotland's rich royal history and architectural grandeur. The mystic ruins overlooking the serene loch was once a favoured retreat of the Scottish monarchs. Despite its current state, it continues to captivate visitors with its stories of past and breathtaking surroundings. It is an impressive building that offers a lot of history to discover and has enough nooks and crannies, and I had a great time getting lost while exploring this impressive ruin. The palace was originally built as a royal retreat for nobles making the journey between Edinburgh and Stirling Castle. It's known that the location has been inhabited for at least 2,000 years, as Roman remains have been found in the area. The palace was originally commissioned by King James I of Scotland in the early 15th century. King James I became king in 1406 and died in 1437, was a significant ambitious ruler who sought to strengthen royal authority and reform his kingdom. Captured by the English as a child, he spent 18 years in captivity, where he was exposed to English court culture and developed a love for literature and governance. Upon his return to Scotland in 1424, James worked to capitalise power and curb the influence of the nobility and implement financial reforms. However, his assertive rule and attempts to reclaim royal lands created resentment among the nobility. This opposition accumulated in his assassination in 1437. Despite his untimely death, James I's legacy endures as a reformer and cultural figure who sought to modernise Scotland. The palace we see today was built on top of an older royal manor, which can trace back to the reign of David I in the early 12th century. David I of Scotland reigned from 1124 to 1153. David continued to consolidate the Kingdom of Scotland as a single nation, built castles and monasteries, and created a new royal mint. The king was a military leader, and he took advantage of the civil wars south of the border following the death of Henry I of England, and repeatedly attacked northern England. Consequently, David forged a Scottish kingdom larger than that governed by his predecessors. The palace that King James had built was devastated due to a fire in 1424 that ravaged the town. Over the centuries, successive monarchs expanded and adorned the palace, transforming it into a Renaissance masterpiece. The palace is most renowned as the birthplace of Mary, Queen of Scots, in December 1542. Her father, King James V, was also born here in 1512. Mary, Queen of Scots, was a pivotal figure in European history. Being born here, she became queen at just 6 days old, and was later raised in France, where she was married to Francis II and briefly became Queen of Consort of France. After her husband's death, she did return to Scotland. The palace reflects the building type of its era, built in a design that encloses the central courtyard that once buzzed with the activity of life. Though now in ruin, its architectural features still impressive. The palace's great hall, where feasts and ceremonies were held, showcases the scale of royal entertainment. The stonework and carvings provide a glimpse into the artistry of that period. The palace's towers offer sweeping views of the loch and the surrounding countryside, a reminder of the strategic importance of its location. The palace's decline began with the union of the crowns in 1603, when King James VI of Scotland became King James I of England, with the royal court moving to London, and the palace was seldom used. A fire in 1746 left the palace in ruins. Today the palace is maintained by Historic Environment Scotland. Visitors are invited to explore its atmospheric remains, climb its towers, and imagine the grandeur of its heyday. This palace is not only steeped in history, but also shrouded in mystery. Visitors and locals have reported eerie encounters and unexplained phenomenon within its ancient walls. One of the most famous apparitions at the palace is the White Lady, who is often seen wandering the grounds or appearing in windows of the ruins. According to legends, she is thought to be the spirit of a servant or noblewoman who met a tragic end, possibly during the turbulent times when the palace was a royal residence. Her figure is said to be accompanied by an unsettling sense of sadness. The story of the Piper is a classic tale of spirit bound to the location. Legend has it that a piper once ventured into a hidden tunnel beneath the palace, intended to explore its secrets. He never returned, and to this day his ghostly piping is said to echo through the ruins, particularly on quiet nights. We know that the palace was the birthplace of Mary, Queen of Scots, and some believe her spirit still lingers there. While she is more commonly associated with other locations, and visitors and paranormal investigations have reported feeling her presence or catching glimpses of a figure of regal attire. Visitors and staff have also reported hearing the sounds of phantom horses galloping through the grounds of the palace, even when no horses are present. This is thought to be connected to the history of the royal residence and hunting lodge, where horses would have been a common sight. Various shadowy figures have been reported in the halls and corridors of this palace. These dark forms are often attributed to many centuries of history the palace has witnessed. Even without specific ghost sightings, many visitors of this palace report a feeling of being watched or an unexpected heaviness in certain areas, particularly in the cellars and darker parts of the ruins. The palace remains a popular destination for history enthusiasts and tourists alike. Its role as a filming location in the hit television series Outlander has introduced it to global audiences, adding to its allure. The palace's picturesque surroundings make it an ideal spot for a day trip. Guided tours and displays provide context to its fascinating history, while seasonal events bring the site to life for visitors of all ages. This palace is a place where history and legend intertwines, offering a mix of beauty, intrigue, and a touch of the supernatural. If you're ever in the area, it's worth visiting, whether you're a history buff or a seeker of ghostly thrills. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Whether you're a viewer, subscriber, Patreon supporter or channel member, your continued encouragement and generosity means the world to me and allows me to keep creating content we are passionate about. I couldn't do this without you, and I am so grateful to have such an amazing community. Thank you for being part of this journey, and until the next time, stay safe.